Gotta go for something.
Who that? Who's Vector?
A viewer.
Holy shit, that was crazy.
Oh, he is a Real Madrid?
Yeah, he's a Real Madrid legend. He's a goalkeeper.
Yeah. I know he's a keeper.
And you said you want Dribble, bro. The fuck is that?
I mean, he's not dribbling, it's just...
Look at that. Ooh.
What's up, everyone? This is the complete push cut dribble guide for Rematch Season 1. If you guys haven't already learned how to push cut, well, this is the video for you. And, well, if you want to do stuff like that, then, yeah, push cutting is absolutely the most fun thing you can do in the game. So first things first, if you want to push cut, we got to take a look at our settings, and here's what you got to change. Options. First, you have to change your camera speed for your controller to 2. Alright, this is, I would say, a mandatory thing. Some people say it isn't, but I like it at 2. Camera speed boost for your controller. Now, this one is a big change. If you have it set really low, you're going to have a hard time, but give it a few days and you're going to get it down, especially if you play on free play a lot. Set it to 1.7. It depends on the controller that you're using. I find that my controller works best with 1.7. You can try 1.5 up to 2. So for mine, it's 1.7. Camera aim speed for controller, set it to 1. And camera aim speed boost, set it to 0.8 so that you have a little bit more precision with your aiming. Camera FOV 90. And of course, no camera shake. This thing's dog. Crosshair size 0, red. 100 minimap, rotating, and show your performance. Other than that, we have to change your button mapping. And specifically, only 2 buttons need to be changed. Your push ball has to become your R1. If you have a back button on your controller, then you can set it to your back button. But I'm telling you, if you play Rematch and a lot, and you dribble a lot, and you push ball a lot, you're gonna break that back button really quick. So I highly suggest you just learn to use R1 or RB to push ball, dribble. And your modifier, that's what you're gonna change to A. The reason why you're changing your buttons is because you want your thumb on your right hand to be free to just mess around with the camera. And you will only press it, you'll only press A to like pass, or X to pass, or XA to pass, lob pass, or to rainbow flick with R1A to do your like rainbow boost or whatever, right? So that's the only time you're not gonna be pressing the right analog stick to mess with your camera. Okay, so other than that, that's the only thing you're gonna change. Of course, remember to change your defense stance dash as well as your dribble stance dribble. Okay, so these are the only changes. And well, it's gonna look like this. You guys see my my controller display? You see that I'm mostly pressing only my R1 and my L1, or my LB and RB, and my left and right stick when I'm dribbling. Okay, so what is push cut? Push cut is basically you doing a push ball, but instead of just push balling forward, you cut the push ball to a different direction. And the direction is wherever your camera is currently facing. See how I went from this direction to back here? That's because of the cam change. Notice my left analog stick is just going forward. It's just up, right? It's just like this. There you go. That's all you have to do. That's what a push cut is. It's a directional change when you push ball. So I guess let's answer the question, what exactly can you push cut? There are a few things that are push cuttable in the game, and all these things are also golden boostable if you guys didn't know already. So what can you push cut? Well, you can push cut a pass. I received it. And I immediately change the direction of where I'm going. Instead of me receiving it and like this way and going forward like this, I waste a lot of time doing that. I can just shift my direction just like that. And already I'm looking at goal much faster. Okay, so you can push cut a pass. You can also push cut, of course, a push ball. Right? You can push cut a push ball. You can also push cut an Ippy slide. As you saw there, you can push cut a Vexis slide. All these things I'm gonna teach you later on in the video. Okay? You can also push cut a rainbow flick or the Nagi flick. Basically anything, any action that makes you touch the ball, you can push cut. Now the only thing you can't push cut is when you're extra efforting. Of course you can push cut the receive of the last touch, but you cannot push cut an effort touch. You go into a chop, just like that. So that is the only thing that you cannot push cut. Everything else in the game is push cuttable and golden boostable. So how do you learn how to push cut? Alright? So basically there are the basics of it. There's 3 things to remember. Alright? Or actually no. Well yeah, there are 3 things to remember. Always keep your left stick up like this. At least for the basic stuff. Always keep it up or moving forward. Or in at most a diagonal. Diagonal is forgivable, but if you go sideways like this, it's not gonna work as well. It still works, but it depends. That's like advanced stuff. For the basics, just keep it moving forward. Alright, remember this. Also, look at the color of the ball. You see when it turns yellow? When it turns yellow, that's the time that you push ball and change the direction at the same time with your camera. But you maintain your left stick forward. See it? I'm only pressing when I see the yellow. If I press too early, I go into a chop, just like that. And if I press too late, it's not gonna be as smooth. You kinda lose momentum if you press too late, see? If you press too late, you're gonna go sideways. The ball is gonna go forward and your character is gonna go sideways. That's what's gonna happen if you press too late. Like that. Alright, so you don't want that. You wanna time it perfectly. And there you have it. That is push cutting. So those are the 3 things to remember, guys. Remember, keep your left stick forward. Hit the push cut. Hit the push ball and change camera when you see the yellow. And the last thing is, well, of course, you have to shift your camera and press dribble or push ball at the same time. Alright, so again, let's repeat. Keep your left stick forward. Look for the yellow indicator. And then turn your camera and press your push ball at the same time. Alright, so that's how you push cut for beginners. Now we need to know that there are 3 ways or 3 different speeds when you're push cutting a push ball. Okay? This is when you're running around with the ball already. There are 3 speeds to this, much like how there are 3 speeds into regular dribbling. There's the walking push ball, or walking push cuts. This is me. You can see that I am not pressing sprint at all. Alright, that's walking push cuts. And you might think that it's useless, but it's not useless. You gotta learn how to do this one. If anything, it's like a change of pacing. See how I'm adding sprint now? When in the beginning I'm just doing this, and then I go fast. Even with lower stamina. So it's used for change of pace plus a little bit of trickier stuff later on. Right? So that's the walking push cut. Now that you know how to do the walking push cut, it's time to learn how to do the sprinting push cut. And much like in the name, you're going to be holding down your sprint button as you're push balling and changing your camera. It looks a little something like this. Sometimes you go into a chop. It's not the worst thing in the world if you go into a chop, but it kind of slows you down a little bit. So sprint push cutting is not as popular because, well, for one, you have less control over what you can do. And it also burns up a lot of stamina. But the most problematic part about it is the lack of control. It's not totally useless. It is still useful, but the only time I want to see you guys using this thing is if you beat the defender early. Let's say you beat the last man somewhere half field, like for some reason that guy is defending from half field and you just beat him, or in a 3v3. It's the only time I want to see you guys using sprint push cuts because, well, it is also pretty damn fast to get upfield this way. And you can change your direction. So let's say you're running towards the wing. You beat the guy and you're facing the wing. And you did like a strong push ball like this. This is an easy way to redirect your direction to go back facing the goal. That's the only time you're going to use that. Other than that, try to avoid it. Alright? Next up, this is the creme de la creme. The best way to use your push cuts, alright? The walking push cut is number 2. I still think that's good. But this one is gonna be your go-to every single time. It is the sprint cancel push cut. How do you do this? Well, first you gotta learn how to do the sprint cancel push ball. Back in patch 3, this was developed and mastered by a lot of push cutters and they added it to their game. But before that, they were just doing the walking push cuts and the sprinting push cuts. But now, this is the best way to do it. Alright? The reason why is in patch 3, the only way to move fast was by sprint canceling the push ball. And it looks a little something like this. That's the sprint push ball cancel. See how quickly I am moving and how many times I had possession of the ball. Count the number of times I got yellow. It's at least 5 to 7 times while I'm doing this, right? So you want to do this while doing your push cuts, and it looks a little something like this. There you go. It's similar to the walking push cut, except it is a lot faster. Remember the walking one is like this? And then you add some sprint into it, and it looks like that. See how much quicker it is? You can definitely see the change of pace. Now, the reason why I said that walking is good is because you can mix it in, right? You could do like, let's say, do something like this. They do a walking one, and then you suddenly go into a sprint. Reset. Oops. Accidentally pressed effort. Right? So back there, I did a sprint cancel one into a walking one into a sprint cancel one. So it's really good when you do an Ippy slide too. You do a walking one. Yeah, let's do it. Walking one into a sprint one. It's really good that way. So those two are the ones that you're going to be playing a lot with. Walking push cuts and sprint cancel push cuts. Alright, so that's basically the basics and beginner way of push cutting. I would say that the sprint cancel push cut is a little bit above beginner, but it is so commonly used now that it is a beginner way of doing the push cut. By the way, let me give you guys a little bit of a tip, I guess. When you're doing the sprint or the sprint cancel push cut, you'll know that you're doing it right when you see that the ball is kind of going underneath your character. Like it's closer to the foot, right? That's why you're able to press it faster than if you're doing a walking one. This is going to be a walking one. That's a walking, wow. That's a walking one. And then I went into a sprint push, sprint cancel one. So mix it up, boys. All right, next, let's talk about angles. Yes, there are angles when you are push cutting. Of course, there are angles. Let's say I'm now facing forward like this. I want to do a 90-degree push ball. I can cut it to 90 degrees just by simply... Oops, I went a little bit further than 90. There you go. That's a 90-degree push cut. But not only can you do 90 degrees, you could actually go full 180. See what happens when you go full 180? The ball travels behind you. It's like you're in front of the ball and you're pulling the ball forward. Alright, so let's do it again. 180. It's like you're doing a Vexis almost, but you're not. You're just... It almost looks like an Ippy, but you're not. So this one is a little bit tricky. The 180-degree push cut. Because you have to time the yellow. If you mistime your yellow, you're gonna slow down. Alright, so again, the degree of 180, your degree of 180. Your 180-degree push cut, you go in front of the ball and you have to be wary or be careful and watch for the yellow animation of the pull because that's when you need to press your push cut again. See? And it's nice to do, after you do a 180, it's nice to go 190 degree because it's going to look like you made like a check mark, kind of like this. See? I made like a check mark. I went here, then I went here, and then I went here. Right? So to the defender is going to be like, oh, he's going this way. Oh no, he went this way. Maybe he'll go this way again. So let's just say let's just say that's me, right? That's me. I did a push cut that went that way and then I go this way again. I'm the defender. I'm like right here. I see a guy here. I'm gonna try and tackle him there because he might go here, right? But then he suddenly shift there. And now I'm thinking, oh damn, he went back this way. Maybe he's gonna go middle. So I'll tackle him instead of because I know he might go back to where he came from, so I'll tackle him here. But instead of that, you're actually going, let's repeat, 180. You're going next to him. That's how you kind of beat the defender if you mix up your push cuts, right? So again, first he's going to think, oh, tackle there. Now he's back here defending. Oh, he might come back middle. He's going to tackle this way. But then you're going to be on his side already. And you probably beat him by then. So yeah, guys. The angles are very important when you're push cutting. Because, again, if you do the 180, you are going to be slow. You can't go 180, 180. You can go... Wait. Let me get some speed. Wait. It's hard to go 180, 180, but it is possible. You most often than not end up on your side if you try doing it. That's why it's best to do it from an Ippy slide. There you go. That's a 180, 180 degree one. So it looks like you went left, but then you went right really quickly. You can't do it without having to do Ippy slide, but you just have to be really good at your camera. There, that one is a little bit like that. That was like a 170, 170. It is possible, but be careful because you are a little bit slow when you're doing bigger angles. Now, it doesn't stop at 180, guys. You could actually go full on, what do you call it? That's an Ippy push cut, by the way. And I went from here up to like here. So that's what, 270 degrees or something? I don't know. I don't understand the circle, the protractors, whatever. But it's almost a 360. So it's probably a 320 degree. All right, let's do it again. It's up to you. You can go really big with your angles. You guys just have to remember that the camera is the most important thing when you're push cutting. The camera will dictate where you will go. All right? I know, sorry guys, that was a little bit of a messy explanation. I hope that my point got across to you guys. But yeah, when you do angles, it's up to where the camera is. Now, let me teach you guys the fastest angle when it comes to push cutting. Because speed is important when you're doing push cuts and dribbles. If you want to move fast, because like I said, if you do 180, see how I slow down there because the ball is underneath my foot? That's what happens when you go 180. If you only go 45 degrees, let's try and get stamina. If you go only 45 degrees, this is when you're moving fast. And you are pretty damn hard to tackle when you're moving this quickly. So practice your angles, guys. You can mix it up. You can do a 180, do a forward swipe, and then just go into your 45s. You might slow down because stamina is like the lower it gets, the slower you get, but you're still pretty damn fast when you're push cutting. You're still going to be a little bit ahead of the defender, but he can tackle you, so just be careful. All right, so don't be too greedy. So sometimes I like to like mix it up and do other things. Okay, now that we're done talking about angles, it's time to talk about the combos. The combos with push cutting. I already mentioned in the past or in the beginning of the video that you can push cut a pass, you can push cut a rainbow flick, you can push cut a push ball, right? You can also push cut an Ippy slide. You can push cut a forward swipe. You can push cut a Vexis dash. And you can also push cut double swipes. Right? I mean, what do you call it? Yeah, double swipes. I like to call it Akeno tech, but yeah, you can push cut Akeno tech. So first up, we'll talk about the Ippy slide push cut. Get your pens and papers or listen carefully, and probably you'll want to review this part of the video a lot because this is the most powerful combo tech with push cutting that you can do. Ippy slide. Just like that, it is very simple but very, very powerful because when you push cut an Ippy slide, you're faking out the defender because you're actually going in the direction of where you're Ippy sliding to. Every defender is so used to you pulling the ball back like this and being on this position, but when you push cut it, you're gonna be in this position. Depending on where you want to push cut as well, highly depends on where you're gonna go because you can go basically anywhere you want to as long as you're facing the camera in that direction. There we go. I push cut going down towards this side. I can push cut going up towards this side. See the difference? It's like a 45 degree angle per direction of your initial push ball of your Ippy slide. But that's not all. You could also just push cut going back to the side. Like let's say the normal thing is to do this, right? You go this way. You can't do that, but you're gonna do it faster. Right? You can still just normally do an Ippy slide and face that direction. The only difference is you're gonna cut it in an angle wherein you're gonna be safe and away from the tackle. But the best thing to do really is to do this one. People call it the 270-degree Ippy slide or push cut. But yeah, just do that. There are two ways in doing this. You see the push ball, you see the Ippy slide. The moment it turns yellow, that's when you hit the camera flick and the push ball. You can advance the camera flick, by the way. The problem is the timing of your push ball might be off because you're not used to it. So the best thing to do is just to flick it really hard and then engage your push ball. Right? So that's the Ippy slide push cut. You could double it down. You could Ippy slide push cut, and then when you're receiving the ball like this, you're kind of Ippying it in a way. Let me show you guys. See how that one was like an Ippy slide to an Ippy slide? Because it was. It was like a mini Ippy slide when I received it. And to do this, you have to... This one's when it gets a little tricky. You have to do a walking push cut on the Ippy slide. Instead of doing a sprinted one like that, which you could do, which is still strong, you do a walking one like this. Oops, my bad. You might have noticed I push cut without holding the sprint button down. I did not sprint into the push cut. That's when you incorporate walking push cuts. Whenever you do Ippy cut, it's pretty damn strong to do a walking push cut. Especially because it's like a change of momentum twice. Because the Ippy pull is kind of fast. But if you do like a walking push cut, it slows it down and then you go into a fast push cut. Let me show you guys again. So there's like a lull. You create this like illusion that you went a little slow and then you suddenly go into a burst. Right, so that's Ippy push cutting. Very, very strong. And honestly, once you master it, you can't stop doing it. It's so good, and it's my opening starter sometimes. If I go for a push cut starter, it's always Ippy push cut. And then I follow it up with like a forward swipe after. Then push cut the forward swipe. It's so strong and it's so good, alright? Speaking of forward swiping, let's get into the forward swipe push cut, because forward swipe is the meta dribble tech that people use. Why do you push cut the forward swipe push ball? The secret to the forward swipe push cut and why people use it is because when you forward swipe, you carry the momentum after you do a push cut. Basically, you create speed with the forward swipe push ball into a push cut, and your first push cut is a little bit faster than normal. Alright, so there you go. It kind of makes it feel zoomy. And it's hard to read for the defenders. So some people actually just spam forward swiping. You just go like this. Because forward swipe is still technically the fastest moving dribble tech on Rematch besides Golden Boost, right? So yeah, to do it, it's basically do a forward swipe, run up to the ball, and then push cut it. It's so simple and easy to do. Anybody can figure it out. There you go. Now, if you want to do a receive from your push cut, it's basically the same thing. The moment that you see the yellow on the ball of your push cut, that's when you know that you could hit your forward swipe push ball tech to work, right? You could even do it from Ippy, which is another tech that we did before. When you Ippy and then forward swipe after, it goes pretty damn far. And then you push cut it. It is very tricky to the eye. You could also push cut an FSD, by the way. There you go. It's a little tricky, but if you do it right, it's pretty crazy looking, if you ask me. Wait. One more FSD. Oops, I missed it. Oops, that's a Vexis. It's crazy, I'm telling you. Push cutting the FSD goes really crazy. Whew, it's hard to do though. But when you do it, I'm telling you, it will fool a lot of people. So we skipped ahead. So that's FSD, FSP, push cutting. Very strong. The keynote to remember is it carries over the momentum to your first push cut. Okay? Next up is the Vexis Push Cut. And unfortunately, this season, Vexis is especially bugged for a lot of people. It doesn't matter if you have good ping now. If you try to do a Vexis dash, you will lose the ball. It will get stuck on the floor 70 to 75% of the time. On the rare chance that you get it, you're lucky. You can try and incorporate this into the game. Maybe it might get better in future patches, so I might as well add it now. Alright, to do a Vexis push cut is basically the moment you dash into the ball for the Vexis dash, you see that the ball turns yellow. It's the same principle. The moment you see the yellow, engage your flick into the direction that you want to push ball it to. So in this case, let's say I want to go there. I'm going to try and do it. Yeah, there you go. See? You can fake out a lot of defenders by doing the Vexis dash. For one thing, Vexis dash already looks fast. And if you couple it with a switch or a change of direction because of a push cut, then all the more it will look extra confusing to the defenders. And then you follow it up with a forward swipe. Yeesh. It's done, dia if you do that. Let's talk about flick push cuts now. Flick push cutting can be done simply by doing this. I like to combine it with an Ippy. Like I'll do a normal Ippy, and then I go into a flick. Oh, sorry, no, not that flick. I want the Nagi flick. So you go Ippy slide, go Ippy into a flick, and then that's the one that you push cut. So basically, whatever flick you do is push cuttable the moment you see the yellow again. So for the Nagi one, it's the moment he touches the ball that way. You can 180 push cut it the other way again. And it looks absolutely awesome in the match or in game. It is very, very confusing to the players that's going against it. Because normally when somebody's going that direction, you expect them to keep going that direction, right? Or at least moving forward. But then you suddenly pull it back. For the rainbow flick, you see the ball turn yellow when that goes to the character's chest. And that's the moment that you flick it, or the moment that you push cut it. into any direction you want again. So let's try doing it this way. Oops, it's too late. Wasn't running into the ball. There we go. So yeah, you can push cut any flick as well. And that's where we get into the latest and most powerful tech or push cut that I like to do is the golden boost receive push cut. And I have a clip of it. It's really awesome to do. It works on 3v3, 5v5. It works all the time because people expect you to shoot after you do golden boost most of the time, that they get tricked out by this. So let's start off by doing a golden boost. And the moment you're receiving it, that's when you push cut it. That simple action right there makes every defender that's in front of you either dolphin dive, LT spam, try to tackle. Most often than not, it's dolphin dive. If they're a good player, they try to dolphin dive you, and the goalie will probably dive. So if we're a little bit closer to goal, we could do something. Right? That's what you do. Especially up close. You could do it when it's closer to, like this. He's expecting you to shoot. But then you do like a fake pass like that. Bro, I'm telling you, that works. They'll always expect you to do a kick. 100% of the time, they'll think you're gonna go for a kick. And then you do like a... First of all, the goalie's diving at this point. And then you just pass it into goal. As long as he's diving not into the direction of your pass, you're gonna score a goal that way. And it looks so awesome on the replay. Especially if you do, and you can even double cut it, by the way. The moment you receive the cut and then you cut it again. Just like what I did there. Cut. Oops. I Ronaldo chopped it. I don't know why people call it Ronaldo chop. Anyway, let's say I'm like this far away. Oops, I messed it up. And I missed the shot. But you get the idea, right? You go into a dribble again. And you could even open with a golden boost receive chop. Like let's say there's a defender here and you want to beat that defender. Go into the golden boost, run up, chop it, swipe, MJ glide, bang, swipe, bang, pass to a friend. You know, you get the idea. Now when you golden boost, you have other weapons to use after, because you have more stamina and you're near the box with full stamina. Carry the momentum of the boost. You already have the shock factor. They know that you don't have effort though. That's the only thing. So be careful. But everything should be fine. And again, one more thing. When you receive a lob pass, you have an option to instead of shooting it, you have an option to flick it like that and then go into like a forward swipe. Oops, I missed it for some reason. Most often than not, sometimes it's surprising to the keeper that you didn't jump. 50-50, they'll try to either, it's better to just shoot maybe, but if you want to trick him out, like let's say you haven't beaten him, you haven't beaten the keeper because he's just that good. There are keepers that are like that, like Zola in my server, in my region. Mess it up, mess with him a little bit, do something to like break his I don't know, his concentration, so that there's like more things that he doesn't expect. And who's gonna expect you to push cut that thing, right? Who would push cut the lob pass to the player? But if it works, it works. Alright guys, so there are other techs out there that you could do, and I guess I could teach you two more. I forgot about these, so good thing I remembered. The Akeno Push Cut. Akeno push cutting is pretty damn good. You do the double swipe into another swipe into an Ippy slide if you want to, but basically you're Ippy sliding and receiving the ball that way. That's the combo. It comes from the Ippy slide. You push cut the Ippy slide from the Akeno tech. And if done correctly, it absolutely cooks the defender. And it can also cook the keeper. You can just look at the input that I did there. Sometimes that's the normal one, the easiest way to do it. You kind of like just scoop the ball back up. You kind of Ippy it again. You do an Ippy to a push cut. And then you kind of Ippy or receive. You kind of Ippy receive the ball instead of doing another push cut. So it's kind of like this. There. It's nice to forward swipe it after. That's a really good combo. So it's Akeno tech into an Ippy push cut into a forward swipe. I know it doesn't look like much when I'm doing it here. But to a defender, that thing looks absolutely crazy because you're trying to, in their minds, you're trying to go this way, alright? When you engage an Akeno tech, it looks like you're going to the left, and then you quickly change direction with a push cut, Ippy push cut. And then when you receive the ball, you go immediately into a forward swipe. I don't know what you think it looks like to the defenders, but guys, it looks like you're going crazy because when you push cut an Ippy slide, your character kind of jumps left, and then you receive the ball, and forward swipe just absolutely looks fast. It's the fastest looking dribble tech besides Golden Boost, so it is very tricky and hard to get. So that's the Akeno tech Ippy slide push cut combo thing with the forward swipe in the end. And we have one more good one for you guys. Okay. This one is the roulette Ippy push cut. Or the triple cancel push cut. The way to do this is while moving your stick forward, press your input 3 times and then release your dribble stance. Press your dribble 3 times and you go into an Ippy slide. And at the end of when you release, you have to kind of turn your camera a little bit. See how many? All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. And there you go. This works on low stamina, by the way. So let's lower our stamina. Oops, I dropped it. There you go. I had basically almost no more stamina. And if you go into a triple cancel, you can still get the ball back. It is absolutely awesome. I love this tech. Shout out to Raya PT. He's the one that taught me this. And there you go. That's it, guys. That's all the techs that I know how to do. There are a few more that I can still teach you, but this one is a little bit more of a very, very advanced version of the of the tech that I am also not yet perfectly used to doing, and it's using your left stick direction instead of always keeping it forward when doing your combos. Sometimes they're already incorporated though. Like when I do Akeno tech, I don't use the forward one. I always go side. There you go. You see my stick went side there. You could do this with more text than that, like the Ippy, just like that. You saw it. I went from like let's try and do it again. It's using the directional stick and using the camera less. It is also a very effective style, but one that I'm yet to master it, and you could actually do some crazier things if you combine both styles together. If you guys want to see a more in-depth guide than this to the push cut, push balling, you gotta hit the like on the video and of course subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we have, the better it is for Rematch as well as for my channel and for me to be inspired to make more videos. So smash that like, boys. Subscribe. If you like this video, there's more to come as long as you all want them to come. That's it. I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.